All right, ready?
Yep.
Yes. Wild time. Oh, yeah, there it is.
Woo! That was, like, we got Skinny Pete over there. This is the Wild Times podcast hosted by Skinny Pete.
I still look fat. It's okay.
No, you've lost so much weight.
I know, but I'm still fat. That's the thing.
Well, you always have to be the fat guy on the pod.
Exactly. I mean, I'll always be the fat guy in life.
You better be. Welcome to the Wild Times. This is one of the best pods ever. We've got myself, the broologist Forrest. We got Skinny Pete on the far right.
Oh, hello.
I'm changing your name to Skinny Pete now.
Like it. That's great.
And Papa P in the middle here.
Yo.
What's going on, guys?
I got a ticket on the way here.
Yeah,
a
you
speeding
did.
ticket.
Yep, you were late.
So let me just. I have anger problems, and
you don't say.
You know, I've gotten over it for the majority, but once in a while, like there'll be a day where I just like I don't care if I crash my car. That's how angry I am. Like I want to run my car into the guy in front of me. So today, what happens is I'm going to fucking get on the highway. The ramp's closed. Now,
Sure.
the next ramp is like a whole fucking ordeal. I have to go through a neighborhood to get to this thing. So I'm fucking furious by the time I get onto the highway. And I'm going like 90 miles an hour. Fucking cop. Motorcycle under a bridge. I see him as I'm passing, and then I do that thing like, oh, shit. Like I
Slow down.
Like it doesn't matter.
Too late.
Yeah. Too late.
And then you're just like in the car, like just watching behind you. He's like coming up and he's like, yeah, gotcha. You're like just imagining how fucking thrilled he is and just how mad you are.
And you got the ticket, no getting out of it?
No. So the big problem, it took forever too, because I had a license plate from my other car, which I got at the same spot. They're both leases. They put the wrong plates on the wrong car. So now he's
boy.
like,
Oh, boy.
Oh,
Yeah,
now you're going to jail.
he's reprimanding me.
That's definitely criminal activity.
Yeah.
No, he's like, I'm letting you go, but like, you got to get this changed because somebody who's not in a good mood might like actually make a thing out of this.
Yeah.
Tow the car.
And it took a
stolen.
really long time. He was like back there talking back and forth. So I'm like late and I'm mad. And I just like call my wife and I'm like, put me in a good mood because I'm going to be mad all day when we record.
Oh, I'm sure that worked.
No, I'm good. I'm good
Okay,
now.
good.
Well, he did bash in here with a cooler at 10:15.
And not just a little bottle of Tito's, a handle of Tito's.
Yeah, saw that.
I figured we needed some ice and some booze, more hard liquor in here.
There we go. All right. Well, we're doing it. That's
Yeah.
great.
I know you've already tuned out. Let's move on.
I haven't tuned out. I don't know what to contribute to the fact that you got a speeding ticket.
No, it's okay.
Here's a little tidbit. I've never gotten one.
Ever?
Never in my life.
Do you not speed?
You better knock wood, sir.
I'm just a safe driver. I go, like 5 to 7 miles over the speed limit.
Mm-hmm.
I thought you were going to say under the speed limit, and I was going to ridicule you.
No.
I did
Interesting.
have another question.
Never gotten one.
I saw your car out front, and every time I see your car, I start wondering about the size of your penis.
It's very small.
Right,
That's
because your car takes up 2 parking spots.
the larger your tires, the smaller your penis. Yeah, fact. Speaking
man.
of, Patrick texted us both 2 nights ago. Have you seen The Real Bros of Simi Valley on Roku? I put it on and watched the whole thing.
Did you watch? You finished it?
I finished it.
It's just fun. It's so stupid.
It's so
Yeah.
stupid. Yeah. Oh my God. This is it.
This has been a YouTube web series for like 10 years. They put out like 1 or 2 episodes a year.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
yeah, yeah.
That's what it is?
Yeah.
Oh,
And
I didn't realize
The
that.
movie is way funnier. I've tried to watch the episodes. It's like funny. I'll watch them, but the movie, I watched the trailer and I was like, this is like good, dumb comedy.
Dude, the name, when he said the baseball bro's name, Jath US,
Yeah.
I laughed for like
Jathu.
2 minutes.
Jathu is way sicker than us now.
I don't know what about the name Jathu just made me laugh, but
Dude.
it made me laugh for like 2 minutes.
I
hilarious.
love the line where he's like, we just all realized that we're not even close to living the lives that look sick online.
Yeah.
I got to watch the whole movie, man.
It's pretty good.
It's pretty
I mean, I
fun.
live in Simi Valley. Guys, did you know that we just put our bonus episodes on Apple subscriptions? So now you can subscribe on Apple, get yourself 6 ad-free
So you're
pods.
saying I listen to my podcasts on Apple Podcasts.
That's right.
So now I can hear the bonus, the
All of
4
them.
extra podcasts a month?
Ad-free as well, including
Oh,
these
wait
2.
a minute. That's the Cinemax of podcasts.
That's Cinemax.
There's definitely some stuff in there that shouldn't be publicly available.
And if
Oh,
you're
well.
reminder, if you're signed up to any of our premium stuff, we're giving a trip to Animal Con away. That's in October. You're gonna come. Someone's gonna come with us. Flight, booze. Well, no, not the booze, but the tickets to the Animal Con is paid for. And,
I mean, I will say last year at Animal Con, we just ended up buying booze for everyone who came to hang out.
Yes.
So
I spent
We
like
spent
$1,000.
thousands of
Yeah.
dollars.
it was really fun.
It was really fun.
All right, Kyle, hit the button.
What's in the news?
Sir, news from the underground.
So, Forrest, I'm going to let you tell this story.
Okay.
But I saw this, and I have a theory.
All right.
Because we've talked about the orcas that are attacking boats.
We have.
We've talked about it a few times.
We have. And whether it's play or it's aggression or blah, blah, blah.
And your theory, and I think a lot of people's theory, marine biologists, whatever, was that they're playing and they think it's fun.
They're having fun. They're mischievous teenagers having a good time. But
I think this is up the ante.
okay. Well, seeing as a group of killer whales just sank a $128,000 yacht, here's the thing, though. In 2 hours.
They spent 2 hours tearing this
tortured
boat apart.
Yeah,
But they-
sadistic.
That's not like before they've grabbed a rudder and like gone away and been like, ha. This time they literally spent 2 hours attacking this yacht in the Mediterranean until it actually physically sunk.
Yeah,
They
upped
wanted
the
to
ante.
see it sink.
Yep.
Yeah, they did.
Do you think they got joy out of watching all the human beings freak out the whole time?
Oh, I'm sure. I imagine it was a blast. I think these are mischievous orcas doing funny things that they think is funny.
Yeah,
Well,
they're like a bully.
Not according to Mr. Powell.
Mhm.
Doesn't say his first name here, but he was the ship's owner. They had just disembarked for a 10-day sail.
Oof.
They're going to sail. It's his birthday bash.
Yep.
Okay, so he's celebrating his 60th birthday. They decide to leave the port of Portugal, and they're going to sail to Greece. That sounds fun.
Lovely.
Real-
what a nice
real
place
nice.
to be in the Med.
I might think there were some cocktails that were going to be served.
I would imagine so.
So 22 hours into the trip, he feels something smack the bottom of the boat, and he thinks they hit a rock.
Yep.
And so he's looking around trying to see if the boat's damaged, and then boom, another hit.
Wow.
And then, as he describes, they methodically attacked the rudder, and just smashed into the boat and just tore this thing to shreds, piece by piece, for 2 full hours.
As he's quoted here in the article saying they knew the weak points of the boat,
Yeah.
which I totally believe. I
Terrifying.
believe they looked at it and went, here's something we can grab onto and pull it apart.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean they've done their reconnaissance and now they are on the offense after all these years.
Dude, I think it's insane. I think it's crazy that we live in a time where orcas are fighting back.
yeah,
Yeah, dude. So, but picture yourself on this boat.
yeah, man.
Apparently, there's no life raft, or they didn't feel confident enough to get into a tiny
Would you?
boat.
Would you get into a tiny
That's-
inflatable boat?
So that's what I was going to ask you.
No, God, no.
So if we're there, we're filming for your YouTube channel.
Yep.
And this pod of orcas, what's a typical pod size? What would you say?
Let's say 8.
Okay.
Oh man.
So we got 8 orcas really ripping the ship to shreds.
Mm-hmm.
And it's starting to wobble. It's not looking good. I would obviously be like, what should we do? To you, what would you say?
I would get the inflatable raft ready, have it on deck, and be as ready as you can so that the very last thing you do as the yacht sinks is get into that. It's a last-ditch effort. But you should stay on the largest piece of land largest thing as long as possible. But I'll say this. I doubt those orcas had any intent on hurting the people. Not that it wouldn't still be fucking terrifying, right? You'd be like, what the fuck is happening? Why is my boat getting shredded by whales?
Yeah.
But I'm sure they had no interest in actually killing or eating the people. They were just having fun tearing apart the boat.
Yeah.
They probably could have swum away and the orcas probably would have left them alone. Probably being the key word here.
Sure.
So who knows? But yeah, I would say you wait as long as possible. And as the ship starts to sink to where it's like, oh no, it's actually going under, you hop into the life raft and then hope.
So they're trying everything. They're lighting firecrackers. I don't know why they had them.
Party boat.
Lighting firecrackers to try to deter the orcas. They radioed for help right away.
Yeah. Took 2 hours.
2 hours later, a Spanish vessel shows up and gets the people off the boat 3 minutes before it goes under.
That's what it was. It was 3 minutes.
3 minutes later, the boat sinks.
Yeah, this is a movie. I mean, this is going to be a movie someday.
Imagine if one guy from the Spanish rescue was like, I'm going to stop for coffee. It's going to be a long day.
It sounds like they might have.
Or maybe they did. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so this is now, these pods are autonomous of one another, right? That are attacking these ships. So
Yeah.
they're somehow communicating this across the entire species.
Well, they're pelagic and transient and they'll run into each other and communicate and talk.
Yeah.
We've talked about that before. But
right.
no, I think it's absolutely insane. And it's, yeah, I think they're having fun. I think the orcas probably find it very humorous. It would be terrifying to be in that situation. I cannot imagine sitting there and being like, wait a minute, my boat is actually getting shredded right now.
No.
And there's nothing I can do.
Well, and like you're probably a little tipsy. You know, you're not on your game. It's the middle of the evening. Like,
I think I've said this before from diving with orcas, which I've done a couple times now in the Sea of Cortez. It's the only animal I've ever been around where I feel like I have zero control.
Oh, yeah.
Zero.
Yeah,
like
right.
crocodiles, you're in the water, you know, like you're looking at them. Lions, it's like, okay, I see them over here. Like I have some control with my body language. With orcas, and I've never felt this way with a single other animal, not even with elephants, nothing. Zero control. You're in the water. There's nothing you can do with body language. Like tiger shark, you swim at a big shark and it's like, whoa, this thing's kind of aggressive. I don't want to bite it, you know, or like I'm going to turn my body or whatever. And I could go on and on about different animals and their behavior. But with orcas, you're literally just like this bobbing inanimate object.
Yeah.
And it's like nothing I can do will affect it. If I want to punch it, if I want to swim it, if I want to stab it, nothing. If it wants to kill me, it's going to kill me. If it wants to ignore me, it's going to ignore me.
just comes right up under you with its nose and goes.
There's just nothing that you
Like a
just,
seal?
like I said, I've just never been around an animal where I feel like nothing I do would alter its behavior at all. Like
Right.
whatever it decided is what it was going to do.
Yeah.
So apparently there's, what part of what they're doing is tearing at the rudder and biting and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But also just repeatedly slamming the boat.
Yeah.
What are they doing? Are they slamming it with their tail? Or are they slamming it with their head?
No, I'm sure with their nose and head, which is how they hit stingrays and things like that.
Okay.
And you can easily punch a hole in a fiberglass hull. Like
Sure.
that's not hard to do.
Yeah.
I mean, you could do that with basically anything. You as a human could probably punch through a fiberglass hull if you tried hard enough.
Not very seaworthy.
No, well, they are, but that's just how it works. But yeah, no, I think they're probably hitting it with their heads. These animals have the dexterity to kill a small shark and remove its liver
That's
with
crazy.
its mouth without injuring, like
wild.
without like it's like surgical
Yeah.
the way they can open up a shark and take the liver out.
I didn't know that. That's like bananas. And how big is a one of these killer whales? You're talking like tons and tons, right?
Oh yeah, they're huge. They're 20, 25 feet long, whatever. I don't know. You have to look up the
Bananas,
specific
dude.
size.
And can do surgical precision, get out the liver of
Can
a
literally
shark.
like cut open the organs, the stomach of a shark and take the liver out.
I bet they give a good BJ.
So this is happening more and more. We're hearing this story like almost like what? Once a week, at least every time we podcast.
Yeah, it's like at
Yeah.
least once a month, I'd say. And it's becoming global. Is this the first account of this happening in the Med?
No, I think they're all in the Med.
No, before it was, where was it? It was
It was in the
somewhere else.
Middle East.
In the Middle East, yeah, that's right.
That's what I was saying.
Which-
They're communicating across the globe here now. It's spreading.
Kyle, I think there says something in this article about New Hampshire. I saw New Hampshire. That's what I was frantically trying to.
I think that was referring to the whale breaching.
Oh, okay. But so the owner of this yacht had an interesting quote where he was like, "I think people are going to start bringing guns out on their boats to shoot these whales."
Well, that's not good.
Exactly. Like it could.
Well-
Could we get to a point where now we're having conflicts,
Well,
armed
A
conflicts?
fucking whale war, bro.
I mean, this is a conflict, right? It's like the
Yeah.
whales are starting it, but obviously, if we want to eradicate orcas, we have the means to do that. So
but so
it's not good.
You would need
No.
like a big like a giant caliber gun to be able to do anything to one of these whales, right?
I mean, you would, but I'm sure if you shot an orca with a 22, it'd be like, okay, this isn't fun anymore.
so
You know what I mean? Like, I
Yeah.
don't think it would stick around, but I'm not suggesting anybody do that.
What
I
about a
imagine-
BB gun?
No, I don't think it would feel that. That's
No.
in the blubber. Nah, I wouldn't
No.
feel that. But I don't know if there's like whales are incredibly. What I would think the resolution would be is orcas and whales in general are incredibly sensitive to sound and vibrations,
Mm-hmm.
and there are like acoustic deterrents. In fact, there's a new shark one out that apparently doesn't do anything. They're gonna sue me for saying that.
You didn't say the name.
Yeah, it's some audio,
what
but
you
Kyle's
heard.
gonna
Put it
pull
on
it up
screen.
in about 5 seconds.
It's
Yeah,
what you heard.
it's not Shark Bands. Those guys are in Santa Barbara, actually. But it's, this. Anyway, my point being, I think that you could easily craft some incredibly loud, awful underwater sound deterrents
Yeah.
that would turn orcas and whales away pretty quickly.
Yeah.
We're gonna see you on Fox or CNN talking about this with that exact solution in 3 or 4 months. I'm putting it out there right
Probably
now.
less, but no, because one of the reasons we have all these beachings of whales and things like that is it's driving them insane from the noise pollution.
Yeah.
If you make a big, super loud audio deterrent that the orcas just can't stand,
Yeah.
and it doesn't need to be a big thing, it could be packed inside a little pelican case type thing, and you just throw
You just dangle it while you're sailing.
dangle it over, and you see one or whatever, and flip it on, and it makes these awful repetitive sounds, and they go away.
It's good because that's a non violent, more conservation focused way of doing it. You could tune these things to not actually hurt them, but to deter just the whales to go away without actually hurting them.
Well, it would hurt them in the sense of if they came too close, it would hurt their ears and their the frequency. But as long as they swam away from the direction of the sound, it would go away. So I think that would work. I think that's
better
a
than
lot.
shooting them.
It's a hell of a lot better than taking a gun. By the way, if you're taking a gun and shooting an orca, it's too late, right? That means the thing's already hit your boat.
Right.
Right? It means you're in conflict with it. Whereas if you, I don't know if I wouldn't be surprised if somebody's already trying to manufacture this, but if you had this audio deterrent, you could even have it on a switch on your boat where you just flip it on every time you see them, or, you leave it on while you're sailing, which I wouldn't like that because then you'd be constantly making noise pollution. But, just something like that could do the trick.
Yeah, I mean, dude, this might be a big business venture for someone. This is a brand new phenomenon, just over this past year or so.
But it is interesting that, so according to the people on board, it was 15 hits to the rudder.
That's a lot.
Before they lost all ability to steer the boat.
Yeah.
So they hit the rudder first 15 times.
Yeah.
And then they started dismantling the rest of the boat.
Well, that means they needed to stop the boat, right? That's why they're hitting the rudder. I mean, the rudder steers, it doesn't power it, but they're trying to stop it so that they can fuck around with it.
Right. That's so fucked up, man.
But they understand that. Don't think they don't.
Yeah.
But that's also, they're incredibly intelligent organisms. That's no different from being like, all right, I'm going to bite the tail off this mako first so that it can't swim, and then I'm going to mess with it. Then I'm going to eat it. They get it. They know what they're doing.
For sure. Well, man, I'm terrified. I won't be on a boat anytime soon.
But I mean, this, it's like the equivalent of because this is fairly new, or at least this being reported.
This behavior is definitely new.
It would be if it just came out that in Alaska, brown bears are now just targeting motorcycles.
Yeah, exactly
man.
right.
Or
Totally.
Any yellow car.
Yep, that'd be terrible. It'd be awful.
We don't know exactly why, but bears are coming out of the woods and attacking yellow cars.
Oh man, that would be crazy.
I would love that.
I got another piece
Peter,
of news.
Hang on.
Yeah.
Did you hear Peter's bullshit response there?
Man, that'd be crazy.
It's because he's looking at his phone.
Well, I want to talk about something later, so I'm preparing myself.
Okay.
I got another piece of news.
It's been 105 every day.
It's hot out here.
My bedroom was an add-on to the house. The AC doesn't get back there.
Ugh.
So
I sleep.
I got a sleep pod.
I
I literally got a sleep pod,
of course,
to cool my bed down.
Yeah.
I got the Pod 4 Ultra from 8 Sleep.
Yep.
It's changed my life. I cool my half of the bed down to 20 degrees below the temperature of the room.
No more kicking the blankets off in the night.
I'm nicer to my children in the morning. if my wife starts snoring a little bit, it detects it and tilts her head up and she stops.
Dude, I set mine up. It took 20 minutes. I didn't get out of bed for 3 hours because I cooled it down by 10 degrees. So just laying there. And then I realized it starts tracking your body, how you sleep, your heart rate, all these things that I normally try to do with this thing. And I don't have to wear it anymore. It's great.
I can tell that I'm getting at least 1 hour more of quality sleep every night, which is huge because I don't sleep that much. So it makes a huge difference. If you want to try yours, head to 8sleep.com/wildtimes and use code wildtimes to get $350 off the Pod 4 Ultra. You're not going to regret it. They currently ship to the United States, Canada, UK, Europe, and Australia.
Dude, $350 off. That's a hell of a deal. Dude, also when it's hot out, man, you know what stinks? The kitty litter room, bro. It's disgusting. But ever since I've gotten Pretty Litter, no more smells. My nostrils are free. just no more hot, smelly, disgusting cat poop up my nose, man. I love my Pretty Litter.
Something about their magical formula. I cleaned the cat box last night. I don't understand how there's 0 scent.
I've never seen you so excited
I
about
swear
something.
to God, I know this isn't good for the ad. If I have to hear Patrick talk about Pretty Litter one more time, I'm going to lose it. He texts me twice a week about his cat litter box.
I
now.
texted
Dude,
my
it's
handyman, and he was like, "What? Okay, I'll try it," because he has a bunch of cats.
No, it's nice because, dude, you don't even have to. It automatically ships every month too, so it's just it's boom right there.
It's fantastic. They also have there's a color changing indicator of potential illnesses in the cat, like urinary tract infections. Pretty Litter is amazing. You have to try it. Go to prettylitter.com/wild to save 20% on your first order and get a free cat toy. That's prettylitter.com/wild to save 20% on your first order and get a free cat toy. prettylitter.com/wild. Terms and conditions apply. See site for details.
Another piece of news. I saw the headline. Don't know the story.
Okay.
Not the first time I've seen a headline like this,
All right.
but it always flabbergasts me. Man bites snake to death after it attacked him.
yeah.
What do you mean, yeah?
Why not?
What do you mean, yeah? Yeah, like that's something that just happens.
Well, no, I'm just saying, like, the adrenaline's pumping. It bites you. I mean, dude, I like an inexperienced person like me might do something like that.
No.
I don't have any control.
If a snake bites you, no, that's insane. If a snake bites you, okay, sure, you kill the snake. There's 1,000 ways better to kill it than bite it,
Okay.
Yeah.
So this was in Bihar, India.
Yes.
Okay.
Gets bit by
A cobra, I
cobra.
believe.
Yeah,
Yep.
cobra.
Yeah.
So apparently there's a local superstition that if you bite the snake back, that it can neutralize the venom. So
oh.
I like that the story that was posted said he retaliated, but I think you probably, when you live there, that if you get bit by a cobra, you're probably dead.
Yeah.
And he's like, the thing I've heard is that if I bite it
If I
back,
bite back,
Last ditch effort
yeah,
type thing.
I still think it's insane.
Well, it is. I mean, but do we know, did the guy die? Like, did it?
no.
Did the guy die?
So he
didn't.
lived. Well,
It
that's
probably
good.
wasn't a cobra then
He was
either.
discharged from the hospital the next day.
Yeah, so it was probably like a harmless little house snake that came wiggling up to him and accidentally like slithered over his shoe.
By the way, you don't
and then he
think
bit its head off.
No, sorry, it was a Russell's viper.
Oh, that's pretty gnarly.
It's
Yeah?
I've caught Russell's vipers.
It actually says here that it's unknown which snake it was, but it's likely that it might have been a Russell's viper because that accounts for over 40% of the bites.
Oh, so he didn't actually kill the snake.
He
The
sure
snake
did.
got away. Oh, he did. So they do know it for fact.
It sounds like it hasn't been reported,
Gotcha. Okay.
but they would know if he took the snake in.
yeah.
So if you do get bitten by a snake and you retaliate by biting it and killing it, you should take the snake with you to the hospital, right? So that they know what.
If you are bitten by a snake, this is actually good advice for anybody. If you're bitten by a snake and you are unsure of what the species is, you should kill the snake and take it to the hospital. I mean, take a photo if you can. If you're calm enough, that's better than killing it.
Yeah.
But if you, it's same with a spider, by the way. If you're bitten by one of these things, because they all have different cocktails of venom, take it with you so that they can then analyze what the animal is and treat you accordingly.
So from 2000 to 2019, that's a 20-year period, 1.2 million snake bite deaths in India.
Yeah.
So about 60,000 a year.
The highest snake bite death place in the world, I believe.
Is it higher
India.
than Vietnam?
I think so. Maybe you can look that up, Kyle. But it's I know in India, for whatever reason, so there's a couple places where snake bites are really, really high. One is in tea plantations, which there's tea plantations in India, there's tea plantations in Southern Africa, there's tea plantations in Vietnam. And the reason being, like, small rodents and birds and things like young tea leaves.
Okay.
And then it's all this monoculture, and the snakes come in to eat the pests.
Makes
and
sense.
you're walking through, you can't see the ground.
Yeah.
Because tea leaves like grow over each other, and you walk through these rows trying to pick your tea leaves, and you can't
step
see the
on
ground.
one
You
and it
step on
bites
a
you.
snake. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. India says is reported to be the most affected by snake bite deaths.
You don't think of India
60,000 a year.
as like one of
lot.
these
My
places
God.
like Africa or something with all these crazy animals, but there's another story in India just recently where a guy killed a leopard with his bare hands that was attacking his wife and daughter.
Is that in India?
That was in India.
Interesting.
And yeah, dude, look at this.
It's
This
a
guy.
little guy.
Yeah, but
It's a
still, I
tiny
mean,
leopard.
terrifying, bro. I can't believe that leopard would keep attacking that guy with the size of the leopard being so small.
Once they're engaged, they're not going to back down. That's not really how it works with big
Interesting.
cats. So
yeah.
it's really fighting for its life at that point,
Yeah.
So it's one thing when a predator tries to take on prey and the prey kicks it off or whatever, it might come back again. But if the predator gets injured, it's typically going to retreat and leave it alone. the most successful predators in the world, outside of like dragonflies and some pretty oddball examples, only have like a 30% success rate of trying to actually kill the thing they're trying to kill. Right?
Yeah.
That's like the highest in the world is a 30% success rate.
Wow.
So that means 70% of the time they're giving up, they're fended off, whatever.
Yeah.
When an animal is cornered, like this leopard fighting this guy, and I don't know the situation. I mean, maybe we should read about it. But when that happens, it goes into that fight or flight response. And once it's in fight response, it's not going to back down. It's at that point, it's going to fight all the way to the end.
It's like when my cat like connects onto my ankle and just won't let go.
I don't know. Does your cat do that?
All cats do.
Oh,
they just grab your foot, bite it, then keep biting it and clawing
that sounds awful.
Yeah, mine's never done that. 14 years.
Really?
Yeah. No, it's.
What about your hand or your arm or your wrist? You've
It's
never like touched its belly.
Well, if I do that for fun, but she like pulls her punches with those back claws.
My wife's still on the hairless cat thing.
Oh, that's terrible.
What's the status?
Oh, we're remodeling a house right now. She can't bring up anything.
Okay.
Yeah, she literally sent me this text that's what I stepped outside
Yeah,
for
yeah.
before I thing. The text goes, she's going to hate me for saying this. I'm struggling with this more than I thought I would, referring to the remodel. Usually you're the one that's so upset about everything changing, but this time it's me.
So what is that referring to?
Oh, we're just like dismantling our entire. Right now, our house is
Sure.
missing half of a roof. There's a wall gone. Our deck's gone. So you know what? Like you guys know what my house looks like. You step out the back deck. The back deck's gone, so it's just like a cliff, basically,
wow.
where the garden is. So the kids are super unsafe. Like we kind of have a door open. Blah blah blah. I don't care. I've given up. I've given up caring.
You're just like what? One of them's gonna fall off this cliff.
No, I care about that.
Tape the door
asshole.
shut.
No, we lock the doors or whatever. But Jessica's like, oh my God, should we have thick railings or thin railings on the new deck? Should the wall be here, south facing, or here, north facing? And I'm like,
just pick.
I don't care. I don't care. If you're happy, I'm good. And she's now upset. This is a woman.
She's
for
upset
you.
that you're not upset.
That's it. She's upset that I'm not upset.
She wants to see you flustered.
Yeah, she wants me to be like, why are we doing? Because that's old me.
She
Old
wants
Forrest
you to
is like,
take
don't
some of the
change.
flustering from her.
Old Forrest is like, don't change anything. Everything is always perfect the first time. That is my mentality across everything.
Yeah.
Like the second you set up a piece of furniture, it should never ever move ever again.
Sure.
Ever.
Yeah.
And Jessica's like, I've been bored for 5 minutes. Let's rearrange the living room. But now I'm not flustered by the house being changed. I don't care. I don't care.
So she said that you're normally the one who gets flustered and upset when things change.
Yes.
So this has happened before where like you were gone, came back, she'd moved the couch and you just lost your mind?
Yeah, literally every single vacation. I swear to God. I'll come back, the couch is a new color, the TV's on a separate wall.
Right.
Like whatever. It makes no fucking sense. I'm like, why are we playing musical furniture every time I leave the house?
No, so this is a big thing with me and my wife and even in business and like as a producer, right? It's like if you start to go down the wormhole of the FOMO of not making the right choice, you'll never get anything done. Even just buying a pair of fucking board shorts.
Sure.
Right? Well, maybe I should check this company, and you're looking around. You need a pair of shorts.
Buy a pair of shorts.
The first one you see that looks cool, buy it and never think about the other choices.
Move on immediately.
And the same goes for house stuff. It's like, what do we need? Okay, we need a chair. I like that chair.
Done.
Oh,
That's
it's comfortable.
That's it.
And Done. We're not going to 3 more furniture stores. That's the chair.
And to add to that, never replace that chair. That's it. Once you bought that chair, move on. Move on in life.
I got a question though, Pat. So what about like the garage? What if you want to do something in the garage to like change it around? Do you ever get like the desire, the urge to do that?
No.
Because I do.
What I get the desire to do, when I moved in, I set up the garage how I wanted it.
Yeah.
It has then since become the place where things get stacked. Not by me.
Yeah, it's true.
And so the constant battle is just to keep. Here's the other thing. Someone who I live with removes a tool from the tool shelf.
Oh, I wonder
and then it
whom.
gets put in a different place. So it's just a battle to maintain order of my original setup.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
You're right. I was just thinking like the converse of that because I'm always wanting to kind of move things and put more of my stuff in the garage. And I'm realizing it's just because of the stuff that wasn't there is now there. And I have to keep rearranging it and moving it.
Yeah. You're just collecting shit.
It's exhausting. It's utterly exhausting.
Life is terrible, dude. It's so bad.
But
we got so many things.
when we bought our house, the backyard's just a big grass pit.
Yeah, I
which
remember.
is the Gophers have won, and I've gotten to know them.
Yeah.
Like they are so bold, they don't give a shit. I brought my cat out because there was gophers that were just out
Just cruising around.
and not scared of me.
Oh, wow.
So I bring the cat out, and they're like fucking with the cat.
Wow.
So it is. I mean, they like whatever's going on there. But anyway, so we're redoing the whole thing. We're putting turf in, use less water. We're building a pool.
Yeah.
Building a patio. There's a million decisions that need to be made.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What tile lines the top of the pool? What do we do here? What do we do here? And it's like, if left to her own devices, my wife would. This project will take 10 years.
It'll never be
done.
resolved ever.
Yeah, where it's
No
like,
decisions will be made.
That's a cool tile. Yeah, good. Okay, that. Like I can get it done in one day.
Yep.
Because you just pick something that looks cool. You're good.
And it's good.
Well, yeah. So the Gophers were teaming up, kind of like, and razzing your cat.
No, there was one. I took a video of it. There's one particular gopher that the cat was just perched above the hole.
Yeah.
And the gopher would just pop its head out. She'd swipe at it.
Yeah.
And this went on for 45 minutes.
Literal
like
whack-a-mole.
Yeah.
Actual whack-a-mole.
That's hilarious.
There's
Yeah.
a squirrel in my garden that does the same thing to our dog Hoover. He just taunts our dog. So that big oak tree out our back deck there, what used to be our back deck, every afternoon, sometime between like 3 and 5, he just appears and starts like,
Yeah.
and Hoover will be fast asleep on the couch, and, and he like runs outside, and the squirrel, it's so funny because Hoover will go running outside to where the oak tree is, and the squirrel will be, and the squirrel will come all the way down to where he's like 4 or 5 feet above Hoover's head, and Hoover will just go ape shit, like, rah, 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 and the squirrel like run through the trees, like up and down, just taunting him until he gets bored, and then go home.
When I first moved into my house, we drove.
What just collapsed?
Something fell
Kyle,
in the studio.
what happened?
Just the remote.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
When we first bought our house, we drove past it, and every time we drove past it, there's this beautiful pure white cat sitting right on the steps in the front of the front door. Like he was the owner of the house before we moved in there. And when we got there and moved in, now this cat, his name is Blue. He's deaf. He's the neighbor's cat. I've realized and found out. But like now comes up to the window where my cat Sammy will be sitting and just like stares at him like he's the bully, and then just like they get into these wild ass like
through the window.
through the window, dude.
Oh, that's good fun. You should film that.
You
should start a
will.
YouTube channel.
Dude, he is such a bully, man. If my cat gets out, like Sammy's gonna be waiting for him outside and just beat the shit out of him.
Well, yeah, especially because he's an outdoor cat.
Oh, absolutely. He like runs the town.
He'll destroy your cat. So, what brought about this idea of tearing your whole house apart and redoing it?
The wife.
Of course, yeah. I have been adamantly pushing for us to buy a new house and move and get more space. Adamantly. The problem is, as you guys know, I'm gone 250-ish days a year.
Yeah.
And so Jessica doesn't want to. You know, we have small kids, and my mom's like literally right up the
Right
hill.
up the hill,
She doesn't
yeah.
want to move. And so she's like, all right, my criteria, I'm the one who wants to move and have more space, and Jessica doesn't want to leave. And so her criteria is, okay, you have to do something in this neighborhood, which is impossible.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. There's nothing for sale.
From a
There's nothing
price
available.
standpoint, yeah.
It's utterly preposterous. So we got into a nice big fight. I marched up the hill, knocked on the neighbor's door, and offered him money for his house. And he laughed at me and told me to go home.
What?
And then she came. And I came in the door, and the next day she's like, "Great. Well, then we're going to do the remodel." So now she's
Well, you
extending the
tried.
house.
I mean, in all fairness,
Were
you
you
tried.
actually advocating to like do another state?
No.
Okay.
That ship sailed long ago.
I
So
know.
you would try and find a place, maybe not in your area, but in Santa Barbara,
There's
or maybe Ventura.
a ton of beautiful homes in Santa Barbara available within our budget.
Nice.
They're not like great forever homes. Like,
Right.
you're not going to be super proud of them, showing them off to all your friends, but they're nice
They're
homes.
doable. You'd have
Yeah.
more space.
Yeah, but Jessica just won't do it because she doesn't want to manage a big house by herself with 2 little kids far away from help.
I kind of can't blame her.
With me gone most
Yeah.
of the time. So, I mean, she won the argument fair and square. Like,
Yeah.
not debating it, but
yeah. And your
yeah.
house is going to look nice and you're going to enjoy it. So,
totally. And that's why I don't care. That's why I'm not
Exactly.
stressed. I'm like, do
no
whatever you like.
problems here.
Should we play a game?
Yes.
Let's play a game.
Let's
Kyle,
do it.
what do you got? So last week, Jessica went up to her parents' place for 2 days. Remember I was texting you guys that?
Yeah.
Dude, I didn't know what to do because I don't I don't really cook. I grill fish.
Well, you
and that's
definitely
it.
don't grocery shop. I know
I
that.
certainly don't do that. So I ordered HelloFresh.
Yeah.
Best part about this, right? So the meals show up to your door with all the ingredients pre-prepared with a super easy to follow, less than 20 minutes, and you make these amazing meals. The best part of my month, maybe my year, is when Jess came home and Rhodes ran up to her. She went, hi, mommy. And she goes, how you doing? Blah, blah, blah. And then she starts talking to him. She goes, have you been eating well? And Rhodes goes, Daddy's a better cook than you. I was like, send it. And she doesn't even know. I threw all the HelloFresh stuff in the trash, like the packaging. She didn't even see it. So she actually thinks I made all these elaborate meals without.
Oh, yeah.
Amazing.
Dude. They got like 50 different recipes to choose from every week. Makes it easy to always find something for the whole family, kids, wife.
6
love
portions. Some of them have 6 portions in them.
Yeah. And for a limited time, kids eat free. Go to HelloFresh.com/TWT kids to unlock this exclusive offer. 1 free kids meal per box for 2 months while the subscription is active. That's free kids meals just by going to HelloFresh.com/TWT kids. America's #1 meal kit.
We hope this episode inspires you to seek an exciting trip of your own this summer, perhaps one that immerses you in the wonders of Colorado. From culinary delights and outdoor adventures to unforgettable entertainment in scenic outdoor venues, do it all in the state that has it all.
Experience the thrill of mountain biking alongside riverside trails, or hop aboard a train for a railroad adventure filled with awe-inspiring scenery. Explore the state's charming cities and towns, staying in historic hotels or at a dude ranch surrounded by pristine nature. Enjoy Michelin-starred dining and farm-to-table experiences, and relax in serene hot springs under a sky filled with stars.
Let Colorado awaken your spirit of adventure and explore all the possibilities that the state has to offer. Visit Colorado.com to uncover the magic and start planning your getaway today.
Top 3 DFL. Press the button.
Number 1, number 2, number 3.
This one's fun.
Dead fucking lost.
Okay. Thank you.
I think our brosners are going to like this.
All right.
All right,
set
From
it
what
up.
I know about them.
You built this.
I
Top
did.
3
I came up
DFL.
with this one.
Yep.
All right.
Also, just real quick, I'm going to say I'm making a conscious effort to move my legs less.
Mm-hmm.
We should get you an exercise band and put it around your knees.
Yeah.
So that when you're going
or just
like
a rope.
this.
A
Yeah.
rope that just ties my feet like this.
I specifically washed my feet before I came here today.
And
so-
then put your shoes on.
Yeah, I
well, yeah,
did.
just in case the shoes come off.
I looked at the last podcast, the YouTube comments, and there were 4 or 5 that were like, oh man, I get it. I have restless leg syndrome too.
Mhm.
And then probably 8 or 9 that were like, I can't watch him.
To turn it off immediately.
So I'm really trying here.
So
Good
that's
on
for you
you.
guys at home, just so you know.
Yeah.
Good on
All
you.
right, top 3 DFL.
Here we
What
go.
do we got?
This popped in my head the other day. The top 3 things, and I don't know how. Top 3 things that are not crimes. They're not illegal, but that you think should be punished with the death sentence
Oh, wow.
or
I
life in prison.
I get where you're going. You're
Yeah.
being dramatic, but I
Yeah.
get what you're
So
saying.
they're not crimes, but you think people should do jail time.
How do we do DFL? Is it something
So-
that's illegal that shouldn't be?
that you
DFL
do all the time.
DFL is something that you know other people hate, but you like doing it, proving that you're a bad person.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
All right.
That's trickier, but yeah, top 3.
I'll go. I got a couple. I mean, I'll
Man,
go quick.
I'm going to really sink my own ship when I do my DFL.
Well, number 3 is just anybody who shakes their leg on camera should be put to death immediately.
I'm glad
That's
it's 3
mine.
and not 1.
That's mine.
Nice. Nice.
Number 2, actually, I'm going to go number 1 because I still got to think about number 2. Number 1, and people might get mad about this, but if you cheat on your wife or husband, I kind of hope you die because if
Not
that
a
ever
crime.
happened to me,
Not a crime.
right, not a crime.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Biblically,
I
You
get it,
think
right?
you should go to jail for it.
Well, no, death penalty. I don't think
Okay.
jail.
All right.
I think they should be heavy-handedly beat up by their spouse.
Good.
Okay.
All right,
Good.
and then I'll go back up to 2. Let's say if you don't like sushi, it's I got a big problem with that. So if you can't eat sushi and you won't do it and you call other people out for eating raw fish, I think you should go.
I almost
to
spat my
jail.
coffee out. That was so funny.
go to
But I
jail.
like
You
that
should go
call,
to
by the way.
jail.
I like that call a lot.
All right, so my DFL, gosh,
This is something that other people hate, but you do it anyway.
other people
'Cause you love
hate
it.
but I'll do it anyways.
Oh, man.
Gosh, this is tough.
Yeah. Do you know yours?
Yeah, unfortunately. I'm very embarrassed to admit it publicly, but I'm going
okay.
to.
So I'm just trying to get done quick so it doesn't hold up the pod. So I'm going to say eating with your mouth open. And sleeping with your mouth open. I'm a bit of a mouth breather. And sometimes I chew with my mouth open and people want to kill me.
Do you?
I've gotten much better at it.
I'm going to now pay attention to that when we order food
Well,
today.
when we get lunch.
Well,
Yeah.
Pat would be disgusted by it. He just, remember that time he came over to me and I was just eating normally and he just goes, ugh, and walked
Do you
away.
remember that?
And walked away.
All right.
All right.
I got mine.
Cool.
All right. Number one's obvious. Okay. Number 3, you should go to jail, not prison. I think it's like 3 months to where it's sucks. Like
Yeah.
you have to go to
Yeah.
jail for 3 months. If someone holds the door for you and you don't acknowledge them,
Sure.
Oh, wow.
which happens
I like
all the time.
That's real shitty.
Yeah.
You
It
really
happens.
thought about this. That's a really good one.
It's a good
But
one.
it happens a lot because I go to Starbucks like probably 3-4 times a week just to get out of the house.
Grab the door for someone.
Hold the door for someone. Someone's walking out with 2 drinks. Oftentimes they're on their phone. Don't even make eye contact.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
The
insane.
worst
Jail.
is at the daycare,
Jail.
dude. Because like you'll hold, and then you'll
Yeah.
get stuck for like 5 people.
Yeah.
It's just like a line of people while you're waiting with your kid.
But the idea that you could be on your phone and someone holds a door for you and you don't even look at them
Oh,
because
yeah,
you're
that's-
so
But you just
Yeah.
just look and smile and nod. That's it.
That's shitty, man.
Yeah. Totally.
Yeah, that's what you
Totally.
do.
Yep.
a real over the top mouthing of the words thank you.
I'm really on that
Yeah.
one with you. That's
I
making
like that
me feel
one a lot.
something.
Number 2. This just happened to me the other day. People who look, I like the vibe when someone's walking around riding their bike with a boombox or like a little Bluetooth speaker.
Like at the beach.
It's
or
fun.
something? Yeah.
At the beach, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
If you're in public and you're blasting music with super foul lyrics,
Yeah. Yeah.
3 years in prison.
Yeah,
That's
I like
good-
that.
Good,
I like that
good
a lot.
punishment.
3 years
Solid.
in prison. I like that a lot.
There was a guy doing it at the park the other day with a
Ugh.
bunch of 3-year-old, right next to a bunch of 3-year-old soccer practice.
Yeah.
And it was like the most vulgar
Yeah.
shit you can imagine.
Unacceptable.
And some of the other parents made their kids cover their ears.
Dude.
I didn't because I was
Man.
like, that's a little over the top. But,
Yeah.
Not a
still.
little over.
but it was still like
Yeah.
loud and it was like, fuck your mother.
No,
Oh, dude.
unacceptable.
But wait, so was
unacceptable.
the person who was doing it, were they scary or were they like a normal person? Because
Definitely no one that I was going up to.
no, but I was gonna say
Yeah.
like you wouldn't. That's
They were
brutal.
using the workout equipment and I would say repping like 30 perfect form pull-ups.
Yeah, it'd be great if you could just call the cops and be like, "Hey,
Yeah.
come on over here and take this guy to jail for 3 years."
So number 1, and you're going to have to go to a jury trial. And if you can prove that you had an illness or a food poisoning, then you can get bumped down to just 1 year in prison.
okay.
Not even
Where's this
probation,
going?
still 1
Otherwise,
year.
this is life in prison.
Yep.
Farting on an airplane.
Oh, man.
That's gonna be hard to beat.
If
Yeah.
you fart on an airplane
Yeah.
knowingly just because you kind of have to fart.
Yeah.
Right.
You
yeah.
should sit in discomfort for hours.
And it's not even that
No,
bad.
you
Until
should.
the
I swear
seatbelt
to
sign
God.
goes off. Get
I
up
swear
and
to
go to
God.
the restroom and
Right.
fart into a towel.
A fart can be held for 12 hours if need be.
into a
Like if
towel.
it's a shit and you're trying to hold that in, that can get rough, but you wait to go to the bathroom. But a pure fart can be held in maybe for a full
Or
day.
just push it back up and burp it out.
Yeah, just take your hand and go right up there and push it out
I
your
just,
mouth.
want to point out how immature Kyle is. 'Cause this is the hardest he's ever laughed at us.
Yeah.
Talking about holding in farts on an airplane.
Know your
Well,
audience.
now I'm really curious to hear what your dead fucking last is.
I didn't put any thought into this, but I did think of something I do
Yeah.
that I'm not going to stop doing,
Okay.
even though it's socially unacceptable.
Okay.
Probably about 10 years ago, I just decided that if I have a crusty booger in my nose, I don't care where I am, I'm getting it out.
Oh my, that's one of my top 3.
And I'm getting
You're
it
going
out.
to prison.
Wow.
I'm going to just pick my nose. If there's a trash can, I'll throw it in the can. Otherwise, it's
Little
Floor.
flicker.
yeah. I'm not
Floor.
talking about.
You
I'm
gotta
not doing it for fun. I'm
wipe
not
it under
digging
your
around
chair.
in
Yeah,
there.
yeah, I get
Because
that.
I'm nervous. But you know when you got a crusty one that kind of you feel it.
Yep.
Get it out.
Man, what happens though when
You
you
only live
when you
once.
got a little crusty one and you pull it out and it's a big slimy?
It just doesn't happen.
You just got dry
Awful
nostrils.
conversation.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Top 3
dry
dear
nostrils.
Phil.
Yeah,
That's
I
funny
knew it.
because I swear to God, my third one is nose picking in public. If I see someone pick, and it's not just nose picking, it's digging in there,
making
like
a production out of
doing
it.
anything nasal in public.
Yeah.
Like I this was less than 2 weeks ago. I pulled up to a traffic light and I looked over to the left, and there was a guy knuckles deep fucking trying to scratch his brain.
Was it like this?
No, it was the same side as me.
Same side? Okay.
Yeah, and he was just trying to fucking tickle his brain, dude, and he was knuckles deep.
He's
and
in his own car.
He's in his
Fuck
own
off.
car. He's by himself, and I looked at him, and I held my stare of repulse as long as I could until he saw me.
Yeah.
And he literally turned finger and nose and saw me.
Yeah.
And I just kept staring at him, like grimacing.
And then
You're bullying.
And then
You're
it went
bullying
through
us
his head.
pickers.
That guy's got a tiny dick.
Yeah, he did. But it repulsed. Like, I'm literally getting stomach wiggles thinking about
Yeah,
it.
it's not great. I mean, prison time. I don't know.
You should definitely be beat up for it.
Okay.
And here's the thing: nose picking, fine. Do it in the discretion of your own home. Do it in your shower.
Right.
Whatever. You go to the desert. You got to pick your nose all day.
All day.
All day long.
All day long.
But don't do it in public. Just wear those
do
big
it.
crusty desert boogers.
I got a feeling
Okay?
you guys are going to get in a fight on
We
set
might-
about
we
this at
might
one
have
point
to.
or another.
Okay, that's number 3. Number 2. Damn, I had these all thought out. Now I've forgotten all of them. I swear to
You
God.
got too hyped up on the nose.
I did. I really went into it. That was number 3.
Shit.
Number 2 is when you are using a public restroom and you see somebody leave the urinal or toilet without washing their hands.
Okay.
It happens pretty often.
It happens every time you're in an airport.
Oh,
if
yeah,
you're
every
in an
time.
airport, you will see you'll be walking over to wash your hands after using the urinal, and you'll see the guy who was next to you or walking just walk straight out.
Rolling
I've done
your
it.
case.
I've done it. I'm past those days now that I have children, but I have been tipsy and I'll just walk out and I would not wash
Well,
my hands.
because you're also boarding your plane at the last minute
exactly. It's always
because you're at the bar.
Here's what I think every time I see it. I don't care how much hand sanitizer you've got in your little backpack. I don't care what's going on in your life. I might have to shake your hand later. I don't know why. Someone does.
Yeah,
Someone's going to shake
someone
your
does.
hand today,
Sure.
and you just wiped your ass and didn't wash them.
Oh God.
the urinal's a little. You don't wipe your ass after the urinal.
What? I'm just saying, don't do it. Just go wash your hands.
How many?
after you
How
use the
many
restroom.
years in prison for this?
A minimum of 5.
5 years.
Wow.
All right.
Minimum of 5.
They should have people standing guard at
Now, what
the
if you
sinks in
don't
airports.
touch anything?
So, okay, here's the kicker, I'll say. If you only touch your own penis at the
Yeah.
urinal
Right.
and touch nothing else,
Yeah.
I'm okay with it.
Sure.
Unless you're a silent spreader.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But that's the only time that it's maybe okay, and you
Okay.
still got to hit some hand sanitizer or something.
Yeah.
Sure.
No,
Like,
since hand sanitizer has become a thing, I obsessively do the hand sanitizer now because it's everywhere. It's so easy.
Number
I've
one,
never used it.
Really?
Number
Never.
one,
Maybe that's
and
why your
it's
nose is so dry.
it's slightly less relevant to today's world, but it's something that probably the closest I've ever come to multiple fights in my life.
What is it?
Talking in a movie theater.
Oh yeah, dude. It is.
Shut up.
Yeah, it's hard.
Just shut up.
It's very
It's
difficult.
2
to deal
hours.
with.
You're in common space. You're all there to be tuned in to the movie. Shut up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dude, I swear to God, because this is such a pet peeve of mine, I'm always seated next to a couple that has to talk throughout the
Oh,
movie.
sure.
God,
And
yeah.
it's like I'll sit there like digging my
Yeah.
nails into the seat trying to behave myself. I've snapped multiple
ruins
times.
the
in
whole
movies.
In the theater.
experience.
Yeah.
I've been in theaters where other people have snapped on talkers,
It's insane.
and it gets awkward. Yeah.
It's
well, I've
awful.
stopped going to the theater entirely because of this.
I love
it's out of
movie
control
theaters.
in our
I
society.
can't wait to see the new Wolverine Deadpool movie, which I know isn't going to be good. I'm going to go see it in theaters.
I think it'll be good for a theater.
for what
though.
it is. It's a
Yeah.
theater. Yeah. Can't stand it. Talking in movie theaters.
Yeah, it's a bad
Yeah.
one. That's
DFL, really going to sink my own ship here. Not proud of this
Oh boy, jerking off in public.
agreed. Farting on planes.
at the same time. Oh man, I really don't want to admit this, but I will.
You got to.
It happened for the first time in college, and it got such a raucous response that I kept doing it, and I still do it to this day. And what it was is we were all hanging out at a party, and I had to sneeze, and I turned my head to sneeze, and by accident I sneezed on Jessica.
Oh man.
and I was like, "Achoo!" and like big spray
Oh,
sneeze,
God.
Sprayed her.
like literally like maybe a foot and a half from her face.
Oh, boy.
And then I was like, "Oh my God, I'm sorry." And there was like 8 of my buddies, like Ricardo, you guys know them all. We're all standing there and burst into laughter.
Yeah.
So then it was a thing.
Oh man.
So it became a thing where every time I had to sneeze, I'd look for Jessica and
Oh,
sneeze on her.
this
God.
is terrible. She's got some deep resentment towards you for
And
sure.
I still do it. Like I'll be at home by myself, and when we sit on the couch, I'll be, ha, ha.
I just like she's in the shower. You run in, pull the thing.
and sneeze on her.
Shower would be the most appropriate place because you rinse it right
I
off.
told you it's an awful habit, but it's really funny.
It's become habitual.
I got a runner-up one I just want to mention that popped in. Dude, when somebody when they're at the top of their ass crack hangs out, and then they just go back there and like scratch it. You ever seen that?
No.
Yeah, I just saw it the other day in a fucking parking lot, bro. I was like, these are the dregs of society. This was like a guy who clearly was unshowered, like just greasy.
Unshowered butt
I
scratch.
like had to stop in my car for a minute and just like shake off. I was just like, what the fuck? Like, how could this person be allowed to walk around?
Kyle, give us one. We don't need a top 3 DFL. Give us one that just drives you insane.
One, the thing that came to mind was just like when there's a giant line of cars and the person just comes up and just cuts.
Oh, well, that's execution on spot.
That's like there should be a cop with a bazooka who blows that car out of the line.
That might actually be a crime.
Yeah.
It probably
Fucking
is.
should be.
Or when someone pulls into a parking space that you've been waiting for.
That's what he's saying.
Oh, is that what you're talking about for a parking
Or,
space?
or merging.
Yeah, like on a merge.
Merging.
Oh,
But
the
both.
parking space one's insane.
Well,
To me,
that-
that's the most furious I ever get.
I've not encountered that because I would remember and I would probably be in jail right now for killing somebody.
100%.
That was a good top 3 DFL.
Yeah, it was a fun one.
I like that.
I
Yeah,
feel
it
like
was really fun.
if you're watching or listening and you can comment, let us know some that we missed. Well, let's
Definitely.
because this is fun. Let's find a few. Let's scan the comments. We'll read.
I
them.
like that.
Oh,
yeah.
absolutely.
Hey, speaking of watching or listening, we have a pretty exciting photography competition going on.
That's right.
How does that work?
Oh, you listen. Actually, Kyle, why don't you explain this photography? We've gotten like 200, almost 300 submissions so far. By the way,
Yep.
Do it quickly, Kyle.
Sure. Yeah. Submit a photo. Link down in the description below. Ends on August 16th. The winner is going to be, we're going to print out the photo and display it in the studio somewhere.
hell
Fun.
yeah, that's
real
fun.
fun. We need another. Where are we going to put it?
Probably
we just-
behind you on the
Where-
table area.
Wherever it fits.
Where
Whatever.
our YouTube
Wherever
award
it
is?
fits. Wherever it fits.
Yeah, if
Yeah.
it's amazing, dude, it might replace the horns. So
That would be wild.
With the amount of agita that was caused to get those horns up, I think Kyle and Forrest would not be happy.
it was 4 hours of our 8-hour studio
I
setup
will rip
day.
that thing down and smash it against the ground if we ever have to.
It
hang
almost
again.
caused a fight.
The
It really
amount
did.
of time it took for Forrest and Kyle to get those horns up.
Yeah.
Peter and I built these tables and all 3 chairs.
Yep, that's
correct.
that's
Out of box.
accurate.
And laid the carpet down and put the wallpaper up and
Well,
everything else.
not
Yeah.
the wallpaper. No, that was a whole thing.
So you said you're going out of town?
Not for another couple weeks.
What's the adventure? What are
Oh,
you
this will
doing?
actually be really fun. I'm going to maybe Kyle, maybe you can pull up the pond thing. I'm going to Pondemonium.
Pandemonium?
Check this out. This is pretty cool.
Oh.
Cool story here. So this guy Greg, he owns this company called Aquascape.
Was he at Animal Con?
He was.
Yeah,
Remember
we,
that
we
had
talked to him.
Yeah.
The pond guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so he reached out to me after Animal Con and says, "Hey, I do my own version of Animal Con, which is called Pondemonium."
Wow, look
And
at this.
It's for all these people that have these, and like I'm not talking like my backyard koi pond. I mean, he did
Yeah.
like Shaq's pond, and,
Right,
like
yeah.
these crazy.
he had a
elaborate,
TV show, a
Yeah.
reality show. where
Because
he
it's
did
a hobby
ponds.
for some people. Is
Yeah.
like keeping a pond.
Yeah,
at
Kyle,
their
maybe
house.
you can pull up like his Instagram has some really good stuff, but it's
So you're going.
He builds these phenomenal ponds. They're aquascapes, right?
Yeah,
if you
yeah,
want to
yeah.
elevate from the word pond.
Right.
And yeah, so Greg reached out to me after Animal Con and goes, "Hey, would you come and speak on like freshwater animals and things at Pondemonium?"
Awesome.
And so I said to him, I was like, "Well, listen, Greg, I will. You know, my public speaking fee is actually pretty high. Like, and this is sort of a new thing, your Pondemonium thing. It's only in its second year,
Yeah.
but I'll make you a deal. What if I come and speak at Pondemonium, and in exchange for that, when we buy our forever home in the next few years, you come and build me one of your ponds, you know, in a similar value?" And he's like, "You got it."
That's amazing.
So on a handshake deal, I'm going out to be the keynote at this super rad pond event, hang out at this really cool facility.
that's sweet.
And in a
man.
few years, Greg's going to build me a pond.
Dude, I didn't realize how big of a thing like keeping koi ponds is. Obviously, I don't think billions of people are doing it, but for like people that are really into this stuff, it's a huge thing.
Huge.
Mhm.
Yeah, a huge little
What's that-
subculture.
And not just that, but like, remind me to tell you about my after college business that we had an idea to do.
But no, none of you can hear it, listeners, because we're going to talk about it later.
No. I'll talk about it
I'm
now.
just
But
kidding.
it's a
Sorry.
keeping koi is a huge thing. But these ponds are like a big deal. And what Greg's done so successfully that's so cool is he makes them all like sustainable. So they have like some filtration and some of them have heating and blah, blah, blah. And they run year round and they're like crystal clear. You can go swimming in them.
Wow.
So they're more like, I forget what he calls them, but they're not, it's not really
fountain.
No, but it's not like a swimming pool, and it's not a fish pond. It's like a living pool.
Yeah.
So you
Recreational
like
pond.
have what's it called?
Recreational pond.
A recreational pond. I thought I had a better name than that. But it's basically this thing in your backyard that has koi and turtles and growing water lilies and all these plants, and your kids can go swim in it and play in it.
Wow, that's a huge benefit, man. I would love to have that for my kid.
Isn't
honestly.
that cool?
It
Well, you
is.
have a pool though.
No, my pool's horrible. I hate it.
Oh, that's true. You do talk
Well,
about.
it's much too big, and
Well,
I hate it.
Well, before I forget, my buddy Ricardo and I had this great idea that after college we were going to buy a piece of dirt in the middle of nowhere and start a koi farm, all based on the name, which was going to be Koi It Is. Coitus.
That was in college that you had that idea?
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Yeah.
We put zero effort into it, never was going to happen, but we even made a logo for Koi It Is, which was just two koi having sex. And we were
Kyle,
gonna call
make
it
sure you get that
coitus.
from him and
Yeah.
bring it up on air.
Well, no, I
Coitus.
used to know someone who was known as the koi whisperer.
Okay.
And her job was like, people with extravagant koi ponds, the koi are dying. Can you fly to Atlanta and figure out what's going on? And she was the koi whisperer. Full-time job.
Wow.
Just like, but like would fly to Japan, stuff
Well,
like that.
let's play a game. We ready?
Yeah.
Kyle,
Off
no
the cuff
cheating.
Game. Here
Okay,
we go.
off the cuff game. What do you think? And I don't know the answer, but I'm going to take a guess here too. What do you think the most expensive koi that has ever sold cost?
Wow, sold.
Well-
I hope Kyle can find the answer to this.
I think so. Keeping koi is something that you're more likely to do if you're wealthy,
certainly.
because you need to own property. You need to own enough property to have a pond on it.
Yep, certainly.
Obviously, koi come from Japan. Japan's a country with where a lot of rich people live. $250,000.
Wow.
Okay, $250,000. Peter, what do you think?
Well, quick question first. Koi is just a fancy carp, right?
That's right.
Okay, so
But I think they can live to be like 50 or 60 years old, or maybe
they live,
even
they
way
live a
more,
long
I don't
time.
know.
They get big. They
They're
can get to like
invasive.
20 pounds.
incredibly invasive
Carp
here.
are invasive. So koi are selectively bred carp.
Okay.
So they took carp and went, oh, these ones have the best colors. These ones have the longest fins, and selectively bred them for many generations to make these incredible ornamental fish.
Gotcha.
The Japanese thing.
That definitely helps my decision.
Regardless, it's a big thing. Like
Yeah.
you can be a koi collector, just like anything,
Yeah,
right? We've
yeah.
seen $10,000 lizards on this pod.
Yeah, like
so,
or those snakes that they make that they do all the
exactly.
colors, the interbreeding and
Exactly.
stuff.
So what do you think
All
the
right.
most expensive koi ever was?
I think, wow, I'm gonna go just maybe $17,500.
Okay. Kyle, take a crack and then Google it while I make my guess.
I was gonna say 75,000.
Wow,
You said quarter mil?
250.
All right,
Couple
I'm
of-
going to even go up from Pat. I'm going to say
Wow.
half mil. Let's see what we get here.
probably. Well, that's why you're making the point.
$1.8
That's
million.
crazy.
I need
that's
to
why you
see.
guys
I
are
need to see
smart.
this koi fish that was sold in 2018
Yeah, please.
for $1.8 million
million
for a single fish.
Could you
That-
imagine
that's
if there was
pretty
just
cool,
no
though.
pictures of it?
See, should have done koi.
It
It is.
looks like every koi I've seen.
It
There's
really
got to be
does.
something to it. There's got to be.
Hang on,
something
it's
special.
just
It's got a perfect back.
bullshit.
fin.
Bullshit on this. That's not the 1 point. There's not even like.
yes, it is.
There's no. I don't believe it.
This is on Reddit.
So it's the typical white and orange koi fish,
I don't get it.
average size.
Why is that the most expensive koi?
Well,
Okay.
Kyle brought it up for 0.5 seconds, so
That is it.
I love how it's in a
But-
kid's
so,
bath.
Okay, listen. So here's
pool.
what I knew or know
Okay, hang
is
on.
that there are certain koi that get the Japanese flag, like the perfect red circle. And
Okay.
those are worth the most because the circle's the most symmetrical, whatever. So I just
Oh,
assumed this
interesting.
was going to be like a high color variant with a perfect circle.
Yeah.
That just looked like your generic. I have a koi
So-
that looks exactly like that in my pond that I paid $8.99
Well, this is why
for
your
at
company
Costco.
would never take off. Coitus would not take off because you don't know enough about koi.
So that
Apparently
koi
not.
won the All Japan Koi Show Grand Champion,
Wow,
and then was sold the following year for the 1.8 million.
that's insane.
See, there's the one with the Japanese flag dot on the head. That's
Yeah.
kind of cool.
yeah.
yeah, it's very cool.
I like that. See the far left one there with the black.
See,
Yeah, that's much
beautiful.
cooler.
Yeah, I was just gonna say all those other four are way cooler than the one that won. Maybe it's like the temperament of the fish or something that makes it
The fish that sold for 1.8, how did that even win grand champion?
I don't know.
I don't
There's
under-
nothing exciting
just-
about it.
Well, so I mean, I don't know if we want to look it up, but I would love to know like what is the qualification to win that competition.
Oh, we should. I mean, this is important things. Before we move on and figure out what criteria makes it, if you want to learn more about koi, if you guys want to come out, this Pandemonium event's a public event. Anybody can join. I'll be there August 17th through the 20th in Illinois.
Oh, it's my birthday. You'll
Yeah,
be
so-
out there in Illinois,
It's also-
where my
also
alma
where the-
mater.
Where the koi whisperer lives.
And that
Wow.
is it.
Mhm.
She'll probably be at the
Dude,
event.
guarantee
Koi is
it.
our national fish.
So there you go. If you guys want to come out and see me talk and meet Greg and see some incredible ponds, come to Pandemonium sometime August 17th to the 20th, and I will see you guys there. All right, so Kyle pulled it up. Pat, what are the criteria here that you're reading that make a koi worth $1.8 million?
It's basically the same as like the Westminster Dog Show. It's just pretty much subjective judgments on the beauty of the pattern, the head, the symmetry of the pectoral fins. So they're really getting in the weeds. But so
No pun intended.
Yeah,
It's a koi.
so it has to be considered a show quality koi.
Yeah.
And it says of the 50,000 koi born each year, only 50 will be deemed show quality.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah,
Wow.
it is interesting. I wonder if they have
What's
to
that,
do any.
1%? No, that's under 1%. That's 0.1%.
Yeah.
I wonder if they have to do any like behavioral things like they do at the dog show at all.
I think they just kind of sit in a little pool and they just look at
They
it.
don't-
There's no way
They
they have
come
to
up and,
jump
like,
through a
pet
hoop
it
or
on their head
no
or something.
way,
Should.
dude.
All right.
No way.
Wow.
Look at those. See, those ones are sick. I'd pay 1.4 million for one of those koi long before that orange guy. The black and orange is spicy.
I still want $3 billion to just take one random shit every day.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, you could start a koi pond.
All right. Loving this koi banter.
So, well, you're at Pandemonium hanging out with koi fish. You got a big B-day coming up.
Yeah, that's right.
Is it your 40th?
49.
Well, it's 40 something.
Okay, you're in your 40s.
Yeah. Yeah. So I actually set up a little Amazon link. You guys could go shop for me.
Oh,
Really?
thank you.
Yeah.
How does that work?
I'm not gonna do
It's
that.
on the
No, not
website. I put at the top. Click it. Buy me a gift. No, don't. The gift will be just shopping through our Amazon link on the website.
What is the Amazon link?
Wait, I don't
I
understand.
don't even know what this
yeah, I
is.
don't get it.
You just go there and you click. Kyle, what is our Amazon link?
It's just a series of items that we like and think that people will also like. You can just click the link below in the description and go shop around.
Put it this way: if you're the most bored you've ever been, and you've run out of Instagram and other things to scroll through, you could just go see what we have on there.
I now understand it. Kyle asked me for a list of my favorite like tools and things on Amazon. I thought he was just trying to be me.
Oh, yeah.
I literally
Oh.
just thought he was trying to like get the boots I wear and the pants I wear and a cool sunglasses. I didn't realize that's what this was for.
No, but it does
He gave
really-
me no context.
It does help out the show. It's an easy thing to do. When you click through the link, if you buy something on Amazon that's not even on the list, we still get 5 cents for it. So,
Peter,
Great.
do the thing.
well, the thing is wildtimes.club/info for all the links. You can now get all of our ad-free premium episodes on Apple. You can get it on Spotify. You can go on Patreon and get it. We do 6 episodes a month. Only 2 or 3 are public every month. So go get that. You want ad-free. You want fucking more content. Wildtimes.club/info. I love all of you.
No problems here. Koi it is.
Koi
it is.
I
Koi
cannot
the fish.
wait to cut so I can just fucking shake the shit out of my legs.
Oh,
Here.
yeah.
Got an hour
There'll be an
built up.
earthquake in here.
Peter's going to fart like he's on an airplane.